Where are we today, guys? We're at Castle Campbell with the gang.
This was the seat of the Argyle Campbells. There's about, I think it's about 6 or 7 earls who actually stayed here over the course of 200, 300 years. Very close to royalty. As you know, the Campbells were a very rich clan and very royalist, very loyal.
I'm with my two good friends, Andrea and Carl, today. At least I can name the castle this time, because I turn up and go, we're at a namesake castle.
So I brought my brother just in case it rains. You never know in Scotland. Quick history lesson for you. It used to be called Castle Gloom, but it changed its name to Castle Campbell after the 16th century. After the Campbells were very close to, at the time, James III. Under royal decree, changed it to Campbell. Gloom means, I think it's Gaelic for gorge or valley, hence it's in a gorge and valley.
As it says here, guys, there's a trail to Castle Campbell, so there might be a wee bit of a walk.
Yeah, probably.
But at least you can see there's a gate. That's the first car park, well, the second car park, which I would recommend taking. Have you ever been here before?
No, I have.
Never. Yeah.
About, like I say, about 4 or 5 years ago. I remember that one of the kids fell in the stream. Jump it. That was a forwards.
Oh wow. And that's some fall.
Well, no, it's the big shape that was down. Yeah.
It's a very hilly landscape.
Back in the day, it used to be a hunting lodge.
This is definitely looks like the sort of environment where you would have deer, stag. Hey, a lot of flies. I thought I just swallowed one.
Yeah, it's midgy insect, so I should imagine more.
Sorry, I just coughed out a fly.
The video was just spat. Yeah. These things happen.
Yeah, beautiful.
Going down.
Beautiful landscape.
Come back up again.
All right.
And it does get rather steep.
I like the umbrella. Makes you look very distinguished.
It's my old golfing umbrella that I found amongst the things in the shed. So I thought I'd utilise it.
Aye. Woo. Look at that. You can't get the scale of this on video. That's the only thing, you know. The height.
This is one of the closing fellas. Quite fun at the time. Stepping stones over.
I'm glad it's not that.
Oh, alright. Fine.
Sure.
Any trolls under the bridge? Or sorry, 3 goats going over it. I was going to walk through that, but oh well. Yeah, I thought it'd be fine. I don't think it would be too.
Imagine if it starts to rain as well, that'll get quite deep.
Yeah. And I wondered where I could walk if I had a walking spades. Yeah.
Most on your steps of the day.
Well, I think I've done everybody else's steps. You know, you think to yourself that you're fit, but you don't realise until you face obstacles like that how unfit you are.
Yes. I mean,
one of my aims at the moment is to try and run every Sunday morning through the village. But it's just getting the motivation to do it. I just, rather than saying that, I'm going to get up at 10 o'clock and do a tour around the village. It's not run walk. But when 10 o'clock comes and goes, I'm still in bed.
I'm not as fit as I was.
Yeah, that's it.
But I'm fit, and I'll notice it in friends when they come and visit, and they come up with 2 flights of stairs. They're like, Jesus, and I'm like, let's fly up them. No bother. I'm used to doing it.
Well, that must have been a bit of a challenge building your thing to start with when you looked at all the
Yeah.
hills.
Absolutely.
Because you know, they're sourcing the rock locally. How many years did it take to build the castle? Oh my word, look at this!
These cases of actually stripping Campbell's Kenneth Abbey and using a lot of the brickwork in the area to build the castles. So they've got that religious built-in stonework.
Here we go.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's lovely. Doors lane as well.
Yeah. Orkill Hills.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go, guys. Castle Campbell.
Looking at the structure now, I think it was actually built on the old Bailey and Moat. You know, the moat and the castle on top with the walls around it.
Yeah, they're not big bricks, but this could be a modern part to it.
Well, the original part is the tower part. That dates from what, 1460, and the rest is all added on.
Well, that's a lot easier to get up these hills than huge rocks of other places that we go to.
Go through the gun loop. Yeah.
I'm going to stop the video in a minute, guys, because you have to pay to get in. No card payments today, so you got cash. I've got some.
Well, me and Andrew are going in anyway. So
Yeah, I've got cash.
You can do it from the outside, so we'll do commentary from the inside.
Right, I'll see you in a sec. Gonna go in and pay.
Okay.
Yes.
Original floor.
Alright. Yeah, it's not something you can remove easy, yeah.
No.
And you can see the difference in the different parts of the building as well.
Like you said, the Victorians had it, and they wanted to buy all these older castles and trying to renovate them as best they can, but they soon got fed up. Lived there so long, and they got fed up, and they just left it to rock and ruin. Which is a shame. And like you said, you can see the burn marks of. Want to go up the tower?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go in.
So originally it was an actual Stuart castle. James Stuart built the castle, and he married into Colin Campbell married James Stewart's daughter Isabel. So he became the first Earl of Argyll Campbell.
First floor.
Gives you a little.
Oh, just that bit of rock that's just tripped over it. Interesting. Press all the buttons.
Yeah, you pressed all the buttons.
Press them one by one.
It's quite close.
Yes. It was going to be a little bit warmer.
And I'll tell you about the ghost of the castle after.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we'll post this on the new YouTube channel.
And new Facebook page.
And new Facebook page. You know, like and subscribe and all that stuff.
See in the castle. That's the bit that's ruinous there, the old Banqueting Hall.
So with it having sort of like all the woodeny kind of parts,
Yeah.
probably never survived.
That's the gardens outside.
So is it the only castle that's got the Campbell name? They would have had other castles, obviously, but
yes. Well, like you said, because they were so close, they were the head of the household at Stirling Castle, when the James Kings, the third and fourth. He needed to be local.
Yeah.
And this was ideal place for it. Commute between Stirling and here. And it was quite high up in the hierarchy in the Stuart household. I think it was like the Stuart of the household or the household.
That sounds like the toilet there, Andrea.
It is actually latrine.
Latrine.
Latrine. You know
Nice.
that?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh. Which way you want to go? You're going to go that way? Go this way. Yeah, let's go up. Let's go up. We're going up the tower. Oh, I like this when there's like, which way do you go? Oh, that's private. Handrails are good. There's a few of the castles I've been in recently there. What's a pressoon?
It's a prison, place where they used to stick people, not like a dungeon in a sense.
Let's go in. Oh, right, okay. So,
What's it like?
I like the fact that it's a flashy light.
That's grim.
Anybody still down there? Is that you flashing the lights? Oh, no, everything's in the backpack.
Anybody in there?
Well, there's the actual prison.
Well, it was just
And
like
a flashy light.
just like a holding cell for a It's like, in a sense, it's a dungeon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a, not quite the same, but an oubliette sort of style.
Oh yeah, but there's no light, so you're in the darkness and you're at night time. That slab's knocked down, so you
freezing.
Yeah, absolutely, in the winter time. So you just left to starve, just to die in a sense.
Mad.
And the Campbells had lots of wings.
I don't know how ruthless they were. I mean, I imagine everybody was a bit rough at the time, but
To get where they are, you need some sort of...
you need to be pretty, yeah.
You're stepping on toes and what have you, all the time.
Could you imagine? So if that's a prison, what's this room? This is a tower hall.
I mean,
So
back at the socket there, when James III and James IV were fighting against each other, father and son, the Campbells didn't take sides because they waited for the outcome, so they could...
imagine for a second, you're in that prison and everybody's having a party here, and food, and merriment, and you can't eat anything or haven't eaten anything. It must be pretty, you know.
Yeah. Some sort of door there, or I presume there was some sort of line there. And the door to the outwest. You had all tapestries and all sorts covering the walls. That whole ceiling as well, isn't it?
Where does this go? It's interesting. They've just sort of like put some, you know, sticks, bracken, whatever. You got marks.
You've got a little bit of meat on the spit to sharpen your knife. That's it.
Yep. You can hold that for me.
Before you quit, Sam.
Can be there. It's where I put everything. That's I might put it in the section of the bag.
picked up on.
And they're all charged as well.
Oh.
We're having a discussion last night at Circle about one of the clan castles having a fireplace where babies, particularly female children, when they were had, because the owner didn't want female children, just threw them in the fire. Terrible, eh?
Sometimes there's cases at Newcastle, we used to have children actually turning the spit, burning themselves just to turn the spit.
Yeah.
And then you have little areas where you force yourself to be sick.
Minnie's castle.
So you can carry on the meal. Because if you left a meal in the middle of, just because you felt full, it'd be classed as ignorant, it'd be classed as, so you had to make yourself sick to join the meal and so carry on eating.
Minnie's castle, or Castle Menzies, was where they had the supposedly were throwing babies in the fire.
Yeah.
That's quite. Well, at the end of the day, it's about a male heir, isn't it? And if you're first born to a child, a girl, it's no good to you because you're going to end up losing your titles.
And
So
I think that the woman that haunts it was the one that had all the children. I think she also had a disabled child that was hidden up in the higher floors. But she's the one that haunts. And her big painting is in the pink room, and her eyes follow you around the room. Let's go and check and see if we've got anything going. Oh. Any energies down there?
You've got to think of the suffering that was down there. It's a pity you can't actually get down there.
Yeah.
You wonder if like people from eating just through scraps, just.
Well, probably, yeah, probably.
Let's push on.
All the way on these steps.
It's a passing place at each point.
Getting steeper and steeper.
Bit of straw there to wrap your bottom when you're finished.
Well, what did I do in the last video I was in when I was in where Mary Queen of Scots rested for a while and it was her room? I sat in her toilet.
Did you?
And I was like, her royal arse sat here. I wonder if how many people have sat in it.
Is an example of a toilet
Some Markins probably knew some of them. Another toilet.
That's the toilet.
Yeah, with a wash basin.
Yes.
Oh, so there is. A wash basin. Oh, that's posh for the day.
Yeah, so it was like this. You know. I'm sat here.
Just imagine this was the man of the house. This was the main man. The main man's house. You got an ensuite toilet.
Yeah.
You wash your hands there.
That's an alright toilet. It's probably
You've got a view. You've got a view.
more chilled out than my one.
You got a bit of straw there to wipe your ass.
No scaffolding out the window and having to watch out for people painting the windows at the moment.
And a sink.
But depending on how important you are, you'd have a guard with you all the time.
Yeah.
So you've got some guy watching you having a poo. The door. So you can lock yourself in.
Is that did they pull the seat apart or just hover?
No, you just hovered over the hole.
Hover over the
There's
hole.
a
Oh yeah, I see
well,
it
the hole
now.
would have been left over.
I see it
And,
now. Yeah.
oh, you can't. Right. So the one that I was at, it drops straight out. So you're sitting on
Okay.
Yeah.
Effectively, I really needed a
and there's
sneaky.
some geezer at the bottom with a big rake, just moving it away. You know, you've got to think of it as well. They must have been relatively small, the people back in the day.
Totally.
Look at the doorway. Look at the length of the doorway. It's quite low into even the ceiling.
You know, they weren't all small. There was, you know, a sort of
Oh, that's better to see.
a proper.
I don't know, shit.
Look at her face.
Yeah.
She looks surprised.
Well, this wouldn't surprise me if when Mary Queen of Scots stayed here, this was her apartment.
What's that say? A pinch of hedgehog, a remedy for bedwetting
Yeah.
from 1544 involved adding the ground bones of a hedgehog in Scotland to the sufferer's food and drink. Yeah. Nice.
Fantastic. Oh.
I wondered what that was.
We've got back something, I believe.
Oh.
You can't get rid of them in the tower because of the
Hello. You in there? They're babies. It's babies. You in there? Where are you? Yeah, I've got my camera sort of looking, but I just don't know where they are. Is it bats or is it baby chicks of some description? Yeah? There is the slots for.
You can see you've got the round slots there, and you've got little slots there where the original slot, I presume it's the roof,
Yeah.
where the beams actually bounced on the brickwork. I wonder if that's something.
What you're seeing up there is there a space.
And you've got to see the holes there, maybe there's another stanchion.
Yeah, I'm thinking this way now. I'm thinking that this was lower.
Yeah, could be. Is that Mason's man?
Simon, have you got your torch again?
Mm-hmm.
Please.
So look at these marks here.
Yeah.
This one, I think it looks like Masonic.
Could be Masonic, could be witch marks.
Find which pocket.
That's
Here we go, I'll give it to you so you can keep a hold of it for me.
Especially over the doorway.
That's what we got.
See?
It's a cross, is it?
Yeah. You've got quite
It's a cross of some description.
yeah.
We can hear the people upstairs, yeah.
It's somewhere
Up
there.
here.
Yeah.
Crosses, they definitely had
Definitely crosses.
they did crosses for a certain reason. Crosses I think were usually just for like for protection, were they not?
Well, it's usually over a doorway, isn't it, the witch marks? I do, alright mate.
That was the other discussion we were having last night, was about witches and what was
Yeah, that's all. Like, definitely see that and that
Yeah.
one.
and that they weren't all witches.
There's a.
No, it's protection.
There's not many witches either.
That looks like a dog.
That's a witch marks. That's a WW. That's the Virgin of Virgins. That's a witch mark.
There's a W up
Yeah.
there, yeah.
The Virgin of Virgins. That's a witch mark. Yeah.
Is there another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no such thing. Back in the day, there was no such letter as a W. It was just two V's.
Oh.
Virgin of Virgins.
There's another one there. That's
Called
really common.
Atropaic marks.
Atropaic.
And there, and it's right beside the cross.
Yeah.
See if they've got like changes or differences in them.
Street for to turn away. Used a fireplace as well, but I don't think there was a fireplace. Any entrance where people
There's a word, IMY, that Alex could be quite modern.
I think this is all Victorian stuff into it when they were restored it.
There's another one there, JT.
JT.
R.
We've got a whole sentence over there. Over this end. I don't know. Can you shine your light and see if I can get the pick it up, but I think it's just yeah. There's a lot of people kind of probably got away with sort of coming in here in groups and doing things they shouldn't be doing. Right. Will we transcend up another floor? You get any feelings in here at all, or walking into the place, or any rooms? No?
Not yet. It's quite clever that it looks like if this is a fireplace. And and you can see, so I don't know if that's another room above us, but if so, that would be heating that room as well.
Yeah.
Maybe the one above. It's quite clever.
Almost imagine, I don't know, they must have been up here and looked and is anything still hiding in a wee crevice up there?
I think this has just been built though, this bit here. I think this is the original.
You can see cement. You know,
you can see cement in that, but I
fixing
think that's the original stone. Yeah. There's no marks here. Yeah, that's just been put off.
Right. Oh. Get my foot in. It is steeper here.
Definitely.
You got to kind of pull. That's where I feel shorter legs. Wall closet. Ooh. What's this green charmer? Yeah. Oh. We've got faces. A couple of faces.
That's a bit scary.
He's got some green on him. He could be a green man. There's possibly two green men. I forget what the green man stands for. This is this original entrance from the stairs. Ah, see, so these stairs are non-existent up to a point.
That's a green man. You're right.
Does it give you any information on what they're for again? I usually know this stuff, I've just completely forgotten. Have a complete brain fart when you come into places. That's where we came in. Where's the chap that was speaking to us?
See the line on the wall? The original line on the wall that covered up the brickwork.
You're seeing a lot more larger brick here than you are on the outside.
Says at one time an oil lamp would have hung from their roofs.
Yeah.
and one. I'm thinking that more than life is.
Hanging down here. Must have been a little bit of a fire hazard because you've got all the tapestries on the walls.
Yeah.
And you've got like a big flame as well. The money takes a little bit of a. And so on.
But see when you look at that, I don't know if it's just the stonework. I just wonder if that was coloured at one point.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's been dyed.
That was one thing I never really knew until I went to one place. And what they did was, I think it might have been when I was in Elgin Cathedral, what they did is had some of the original tombs or stonework in the bit of the museum, and what they did is they coloured them. They put like a hologram over the top of them with the colours to suggest what they would have looked like back in the day. So they were definitely a lot more colourful.
I think it was all whitewash, wasn't it? It was more clean than what it is now because of the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all work stone. It must have been so grand. But at the end of the day, it's all about showing off, isn't it? Especially you've got the king coming now. James IV and James VI visited, so very good Scots. So you've got a look around.
Look for masons marks carved at the stone booths here and the outer chamber downstairs.
Oh yeah,
Stone masons marks.
Yeah, we saw them yesterday, didn't we?
That seems like a bird.
Yeah. Sounds like crows. Similar noise, but they kind of.
It's great. It's another booth.
It's the most toilets I've seen
I know.
in a castle. It was funny, I think it was Craig Miller Castle.
Yeah.
You've got like a watchtower,
Yes.
and like right near the watchtower, so there's a toilet. So the watch guys can, watch from the tower and then go to the toilet.
That's all changed. There must have been a door here though, because there's two, there's a one there,
Yeah.
and look, there's the way.
So that's a modern arrow.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like an MOD,
Is
a
that
government.
stonemason mark?
I see them in a lot of sort of newer buildings as well. And I mean like older buildings, but a lot newer than this. So that arrow tends to mean that it's owned by the government, I think. This is the original stairs when we were down in the other room and you couldn't get up.
Oh, crumbs, look at the drop there. Oh, see, there's the birdies.
You see them?
Yeah, look.
Right. There you go. You see the black?
Yeah. I think it's just birds.
See if I can zoom. Can't see them.
That's probably where we're hearing the squawking from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very quiet. Yeah. We're quite high up here as well. And we've still got another floor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's upstairs on the set. That's better.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, there you go, folks. We'll get our deck chairs out. We'll just stay in Dollar for the night.
Right, quick ghost story.
Okay.
About 10 years ago, an American couple came to visit the castle, did what we're doing, walked all around the rooms, made their way up to here, stood round about here, was what they only described as a man on bagpipes, playing the pipes, which they thought, oh, fantastic. So what they did, they spotted the guy, so rather than go over to him and put him off, they walked round the back of this building here to come back to see him when he's finished, thinking we'll give him some money. I know what this piper's, he's probably piping for money. So they came round to this corner here, they said no money, and they just heard the bagpipes. Oh, how can that be? Thought nothing of it, thought well they must have slipped down here, down the stairs, back into the main part of the castle.
Yeah.
What we'll do, we'll see the guide that we just paid just coming to, we'll see them, we'll give him the money saying thanks very much, the piping was lovely. So apparently he was only a young lad. So he went downstairs, seen the guide, has gets X amount of money out, don't know how much they got out, and said, this is for the young lad in the bagpipes. It was fantastic. The guide looked at them and said, bagpipes? We have no bagpiper. Well, I've just heard the bagpipes, I've just physically seen a young lad on the pipes. Very, very good, very professional. So there's some money to see him. No bagpiper. So what did they experience? Here.
I wonder what time.
And on the same start, roughly about 15 years ago, one of the guides was locking up, finishing, and he heard a piper coming from up here. So he thought, well, I better go upstairs and tell him that it's time to go, it's time to leave. Made his way up here, still hearing the pipes as he made his way up the stairs, what we did up the stairs. As soon as he stepped foot on this balcony, on this, suddenly stopped. But he physically didn't see anything, you could just hear them. So whether there's a bagpiper, I tried to research it, there's no such hauntings, there's nothing of a
bagpiper up here. And you know, a bagpiper, you know, does that not come from a different kind of period of time?
Yeah.
So maybe they're piping for this,
well, a lot of
the hunt.
A lot of the royal weddings, the likes of that have been had here, you had the piper at the top of the castle piping out the tunes. So whether it's residual energy, from days gone by, because the Campbell.
But then that doesn't explain why we physically saw.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe he comes in visitation. Well, all the description he gave was in Highland dress and a young lad. That's the description the American couple gave.
A young man in Highland dress.
Young man in Highland dress. Now what does Highland dress mean? Is that a kilt? Is that all
Like would find a piper and
See, Highland dress. It's way back when this castle was about. It was very different to what it was up to a certain point where they would have banned it, and then it became it had a bit of a resurgence again. And this is the time we are likely to have had a bagpiper up here. That's just my.
I imagine when Mary Queen of Scots came, they had some sort of celebration, maybe a bagpiper up here playing the tune as she came in.
I'm not really sure
I know
if that instrument, or you know, there would have been played as, you know,
or whether it's like you say, it's later on.
And we're talking a period of time when instruments were very different. I mean, the bagpipe is. Someone can argue with us, you know, post the comments and say, no, you got it wrong.
But there's quite a lot of these situations where you've got Edinburgh Castle's got another one where you have that the mysterious piper that's heard.
They went down the one that went down the tunnel. You see, it becomes a Chinese whispers and it grows, and yeah.
But then, me and Nathan and sort of I am making an assumption that it's a house from back in the day. We used to say it.
Yes, that's what I think. I think it's more recent.
It might not be from the period that you think it is from.
Yeah.
Maybe they came up with practice.
Maybe.
There must have been soldiers here at one point.
Yeah, it was the 45 Jacobite rebellion.
After, you know, way long time
17
after sort of Mary Queen of Scots.
1715, I think it was a Campbell military.
That's the age of, you know, the pipers, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Mary Queen of Scots time, different, very different.
Things that, and that's a relatively modern concept rather than
The Victorians were, you know,
Well, they was
what
big
they
on
did
kilts,
with
weren't
us.
they? Yeah. And they're the ones that adapted the kilts into different clans, different colours. But yeah, it certainly is an interesting story.
It's not a story that can make you fearful though.
No,
Maybe it's quite
it's a romantic
nice
story,
romantic.
yeah. It's a nice story to hear, you know. You'd love to sort of like think that you could, you know, if you lived nearby and you came up here and it was quiet and you'd hear the distant bagpipes and know it was the ghostly bagpiper in the castle, you know. Live in Edinburgh, you hear the bagpipes all the time. There was somebody practicing out my window the other day.
If one is ghostly or not.
I've got the school as well, and they're pretty good. They're actually pretty good, yeah. Not to say I sit in my own latrine and listen to the bagpipes, but I do actually. So. Yeah. Oh. What's it say? A bat from Aberdeen Vestry.
Yeah.
So
Far left. Ah, right, okay.
you got, I'm presuming it's bats from Aberdeen. Is it a certain type of bat? They wear a red top.
And go, bah.
Yeah.
So I'm reminded. Just a beautiful scenery around here. Beautiful castle. Stay where you are, guys. I'm gonna. Yeah, just taking photos. Catching the flag.
You've got to move it all in your skirt up and then give it and brought down at the same time.
Could stay up here forever. It's not a cold day, it's not a really warm day, it's in between. As you can see, there's a lot of cloud cover, but yeah, perfect for doing what we're doing today. If I could play the bagpipes, I would love to come up here and play them, you know. Any lone bagpipers up here? Hear them down there. Let's do another path along here. The bagpiper, you're around a bit here, are you? Plays the tune. Right, let's go and find them. the stairs. You all the way down? Follow Andrea's voice. Kitchen and toilet area. I would imagine you would have came out here.
See, doorway, stairs, stairs round, another doorway there, another doorway there leading to another room, and stairs going up leading to another doorway, round and round again leading to another doorway.
Yeah.
Wow. Great banquet hall. I believe Mary Scott's got food poisoning here
Yeah?
during a wedding feast.
Oh well. Wonder what they were eating at the time.
You can see another fireplace, obviously different rooms. Fireplace there, fireplace there. It's quite luxurious, all these toilets. Back in the day.
Well, you know, I don't normally do this in the videos, but I'm going to pass this to Carl, and then I'm going to visit somewhere myself.
Would you like to use this one?
It's cute.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Sammy's just got off. Fireplace there and a fireplace there, so obviously different levels. Just saying to Simon as well, when Mary Queen of Scots stayed here, she got food poisoning.
There's another toilet.
Yeah,
How
there's a
many
toilet.
toilets is in here?
It's quite, you know, when you come to think of it, it's quite luxurious, isn't it? The actual,
It is very luxurious.
the castle.
Is that another toilet over here? No.
A doorway.
Locked up now.
Yeah.
Oh, something in the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should imagine so.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you had to be on your best, didn't you? Because you had royalty visiting, kings and queens, and it's all about showing off.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Look at this view. Wow. Gardens would have had everything going in there back in the day. Said that Mary Queen of Scots, when here, spent more time in the garden than she did in the castle. Remember 2 years later, she's visiting here in 1563, she married Lord Darnley. This is one big fireplace. I can imagine this was the banqueting hall. Looking up for a fireplace, wow. A bit of an idea how it was. Good old John Knox. preached here. There's Murray. Have you been? Could have used that one, Simon. It goes straight onto the lawn.
Just like in the olden days.
I always try to get a mind's eye how it was back in the day. Obviously you've got your 3 levels there. And deep in thought. Back to Simon.
There you go. It's as much as you get to see me.
Yeah, so this is where your man preached, Mr. Knox, in 1650.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing that he's in the same building as probably some of the women or people that he disliked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How disrespectful, eh?
I believe he was here. When he was here, he objected to the dancing and the frivolity that was going on in the castle.
I believe I was speaking to somebody the other day and they said that supposedly he beat his wife because she learned how to read her.
You know, you're talking his wife. I know it was married twice, and his last wife was he 16, 15, 16.
Yeah.
So back in the day, if it would have been present day now, he would have been classed as a paedophile.
Yeah.
So.
And as typical of anybody from, you know, that was a priest or a preacher or anything, they knew how to write.
Yeah.
They knew how to read. The people that could do that had the power over the people that couldn't.
Although he hated Mary Queen of Scots, well, let's say not as much hate, but he wanted her dead because of being a Catholic and a woman, a queen, which he objected to. He once said that she was pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, sort of saying that the woman's pleasing to the eye, but I want her dead. It's not a very Christian thing, is it?
Well, no. It was, I think he made it up as he went along.
I think that most of them did. I think.
But it's amazing, really, isn't it? Because Mary Queen of Scots came here for a wedding. James Stewart of Doon married Margaret Campbell here, and Mary Queen of Scots was here originally for 3 days, but she ended up getting food poisoning. But she stayed a lot longer here, and she was here with a brother, well, a half brother, James Stewart, who a couple of years later she ended up at war with.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it, how things change within a matter of time.
He wanted to kind of control her in the, and I think he had something to do with the wedding, and you know the.
Down to religion again, Protestants and the Catholics, and it's ridiculous. We all support the same God, but yeah.
That made me chuckle.
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Acute.
Yeah. Food poisoning, diarrhea. She had to stay a lot longer.
Come to a royal wedding, guys. You get the shits.
Remembered in your life for that.
Oh, that might have been a hoo-ha for this castle. The Queen's got diarrhea. She's been poisoned.
Well, some kings and queens back in the day used to have tasters for them,
Yeah.
making sure that they don't get poisoned. So therefore, you take the first bite of that, and I mean, back in the day, it's ridiculous. But
That's where my grandfather's name would have came from. Chamberlain was probably the person that, you know, helped the king wiped his arse, you know, in the toilet.
Yeah.
Closest ear to the king, you know. You had to be trusted to be in that position.
If you're in charge of your own household, you know, getting back to Campbell's were Stuart Kings, you've got to be wiping his arse every 5 minutes.
Especially in this castle.
Yeah.
Eh? All the diarrhea.
You've got to keep up appearances, because there's no telephone call saying that King James V is on his way round. He just turned up, and you had to be prepared.
Whole generations of chambermaids, you know, gone due to You know.
Just think how many staff they had to run this place with.
Bacterial infections which killed people back in the day.
How thick these walls were as well.
Yeah. So I imagine this place getting hit. You know, what kind of, how they attacked the castle, what they used to attack the castle. Did they use any artillery? Would there been a nice bit of thumping going on in these big walls?
Actually, it was the Royalist army. They didn't really have an army, just they stumbled upon them, and they found out it was a parliamentary garrison, and they attacked it.
This castle doesn't look like a castle that's like a typical war-looking castle, does it?
It was a residence, wasn't it? But it was made to strengthen the castle, just in case of things like that happening. So it was really a fortified house in a sense.
But the location is not really that accessible.
No, it's out of the way, yeah.
Oh, I just felt awful dizzy.
Well, you got any feelings at all in this place? Any sort of feelings in this place?
This was just me just sort of like feeling just for a second. I don't know if I was just kind of angled. You know, like I look up and I suddenly look down and go, oh. But yeah, I was looking up at that window, and for a second I just sort of felt like, I imagine there was someone there looking down on me.
Well, the second ghost story is a lady seen in the usual scenario, a lady seen in old-fashioned dress walking this area within the castle. Not in the tower part, but in this area in the castle, from the toilets all the way through down to here. Nobody knows who she is. She has a purple dress, long purple dress, so it dates back to the 15th, 16th century. Usually the purple colour is usually royalty colours. But if your husband's the Earl of Argyll, you're a Campbell, you're naturally going to be the king and queen in the sense of this castle. So you're going to dress in all your finery. It's not known if it's Margaret Campbell who got married here, if it's Isabel Campbell, who the first lady to get married here, or if it could be Mary Queen of Scots who visited here. Because Mary Queen of Scots has been associated with all castles because she visited virtually all over Scotland to try and gain support, to try and get favour from all the local wealthy landowners. So it's not sure who she is, but she's only seen for moments, and people approach her thinking that she's a guide or a reenactor, or only to see her just disappear.
I get a feeling here. Just a feeling where I want to kind of go, take your hand, and then go, and then take and go, you know?
And that's just a dance bit.
I don't know why, just suddenly felt that. I forgot that this was what it was, but I just suddenly felt like I needed to kind of dance.
Yeah. This is what they think. This is the frivolities, a wedding reception. You've got the top table at the end there with all the Campbells. This was carved off because you've got the service table here. You've got a big spit on there. People see to that, dishing out.
We've got jackdaws here. So the sound I'm hearing sounds like jackdaws.
It's up there.
Yeah.
I've always said that the energy is somehow absorbed into these brickworks. And something that triggers it off, that plays back. Hence the lady walking past, walking through.
Through that doorway out there, it's just like I had enclosed. I imagine this room had wooden panels.
Yeah. It was all refined. It was all paneling.
And I'm not taking this in. When you're walking about with the camera, you don't take in what you're doing. You forget.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, you probably are, but
The table there,
Top table,
here,
yeah.
around that.
And people running about serving them. The guy there doing the spit. big raging fire. I mean, that was a wall. That's a big wall. That's gone. You got your windows there. Got all your tapestries. You got your roof. Obviously, it's three different. So the roof's up there.
We take some photos. There's some nice angles here.
David Bagley, you've seen. Yeah, I should imagine as well. It's the same colour as the chapel at Stirling Castle. You know, that sandy colour that stood out for miles, so people could see it. So it's all about, like I was saying to Andrea, it's all about status. You know, you've got money.
Yeah.
You're the richest clan. You've got loyalty behind you. I mean, you want to show off.
Who to be hated?
Well, it's like you said before, they stood on a lot of toes to get where they were.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, later on in you got the Glencoe, what have you. Whether the Campbells were involved in that, I don't know. But I know,
to play the Game of Thrones.
I was talking to an old Highlander going back years ago now, and I was telling Simon this, and talking about the Campbells came up in conversation, and he said, if you're talking to somebody, talk to a Highlander about the Campbells, they'll spit first before they'll tell you. That's how.
There's some places in Glencoe, I understand, that won't accept bookings from Campbell's because it runs that deep.
I had a situation. The auntie of the wife goes into Edinburgh, goes into the gift shops in Edinburgh, and Campbell, you know, the mounted shields, the crest.
Yes.
Walked in there. Can I have that one, please? From Australia. So obviously they wanted to get bits and pieces. So the lady went, which one do you want? She said, the Campbell one there. So she said, I'll just get one in the back rather than use that one. Okay, no problem. Same as using the ladder. Yeah, no problem. Went out. She's still there 20 minutes later waiting for this lady to get the Campbell shield. So this other sister came and said, can I help you? I said, well, no, the lady's just gone to get me the Campbell shield. All right, I'll go and see where she is. Went in there. She came back 10 minutes later. She's gone. She's gone on lunch. Didn't sell her. She stood there because she was a McDonald lady, and she refused to sell that to my wife's auntie. And now this is present day.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
Can you
all
believe that?
because of you know, again, Victorians. And so look at the history, look at the facts, and you'll find, you know, the people who were involved in that massacre walking up those roads, they were told by the king, you know, if you don't do what we tell you to do, your life's at stake. You work for us.
I think the brains behind it were the Campbells, but the people who perpetrated it, who did it, weren't Campbells.
No, they weren't.
Just acting on behalf of.
They were told to go up the road,
Yeah.
and they were told to kill anybody that they saw until they got there. And one of them, who was in charge or was put in charge of those people and was given the letter and told to do the task, was a Campbell.
Now it's naturally assumed, or like you say, over the years, the Victorians, how they romanticised things.
They romanticised it.
Yeah.
They always, the McDonalds and the Campbells did argue. They argued over lands. They argued over all sorts of things. They had family disputes. There was probably tried to intermarry, and you're not marrying him because, you know, he's a McDonald or a Campbell or whatever.
Every clan who was, every clan in Scotland was, land-wise, was on the verge of another clan borders. They always used to fight over land. I mean, it's 9 times out of 10, what they used to fight for was over land.
Yeah.
And whatever rivalry clan was in that area, that's how they used to, we despise them because of the McDonald's, or despise them because of the McLeans. And over the course of time, it's just all, like you say, romanticised. And it's got out.
Even I romanticise, and it's even in my family. So it's my granny Campbell, you know, but she was a Webster. Well, she's married into the Websters.
I think a lot of the Campbell, I think a lot of the present day, well, not present day, but a lot of the old clans hated the Campbells because they were so, how can we say, they were rich, they were powerful, they got quite a lot of lands, especially after the Jacobite uprisings, because they picked the right side to a certain extent. They picked the government side, so therefore they got big swathes of land.
They picked the winning side in that battle. They picked the Bruce for independence.
So
Were they wrong?
I think if anything, it's just envious, isn't it, of them?
Wee green monsters.
Yeah.
Like the wee green man upstairs.
And the dancing he was just doing. The Highland Fling.
I need to know the song.
Highland Fling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to go outside and have a look at the garden?
Look at the
Let's
garden.
do that.
Check
The
that
garden
out.
where Mary Queen of Scots spent most of the time. Recuperating after having the ships.
Nothing better for a bit of diarrhea, a bit of fresh air.
In this castle as well, there was talk of Archibald Campbell. When Mary Queen of Scots married Darnley, he actually orchestrated an actual hostage situation here. He was going to kidnap her from Perth, where Mary Queen of Scots was on a honeymoon with Lord Darnley. So this is where they tried to see if they could, if it's possible, for her to kidnap her. So this is where the plans were made, but he's never actually followed through.
I
Just
mean,
wanted to separate them.
you've got the history, you've got the romanticised stories. We have films, like my favourite film is the Mary Queen of Scots one, but it's some famous actors in it. It's got a beautiful soundtrack. You know, even my friend's relative, he's made out to be a good guy, although he was getting married to somebody and she wasn't happy about that. And yeah, each character is portrayed completely differently every time.
It's just a shame because she was a woman, not so much a weak woman, but in a very much a male or dominated world, and she was taken advantage of. And she didn't realise till the very end that, thinking that a first cousin, will help her out when she fled to England.
Alas.
Yeah, and she was just used by the Catholic. Which is a shame.
Well, there you go. Someplace. In that main gate.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming that that'll be the coat of arms of maybe the Campbells, the Stuarts, maybe, just to show off in a sense.
Alright, so this is good.
It's all natural rock, this as well, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
This here. Oh, they built it out of natural rock. These are still stories. So it's,
Built in about 1500.
She's got a low banquet going in and out down these corridors. This must be a great place to put a cat ball.
Yeah.
It's nice because this must have been a busy
Going
place.
back and forth.
Yeah. Making sure that the wine's filled, making sure that the meat's there and everything. Storage room.
I've got them.
You're going to love this.
Wow. This is what you call a storeroom. Get me EMF meter off of this. Yeah, watch your head on this.
Oh, right, okay. I'm gonna get total head plant.
This is more like it.
Yeah, this is what you call a storeroom.
I'm getting shivers here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's cooler down here, isn't it? But I think that's the point. This is the sort of place you'd store your food, keep it cool. You didn't have a fridge back in the day. One of the places that...
later on, you have the salt to try and...
yeah,
to try and...
which was a commodity.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was fuel found.
You know what's going on here? It's all the plasters. Somebody's cut themselves and used multiple plasters. And then it's put out a fire. It just makes no sense. Bit random. But yeah, I mean, I've seen ice rooms as well.
Yeah, there's one, I believe, at Doon Castle. Like an ice.
We've got one in Mintlaw, up where my folks are. There's Eden Park or Eden House.
But they're relatively modern.
Yeah, they're modern.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a completely, it's just a structure now.
You just had to preserve your food, didn't you? Especially your meats. a lot of them, because if you put meat on the floor, obviously it attracts mice, vermin. A lot of them used to hang it from the actual ceiling in the storeroom. So you got your meat, you're hanging down from a hook or whatever, just so it's out of the way, off the floor. Yeah, this is.
There's another one further along the other way with that's open. No fluctuations in here, folks.
No, nothing.
Not unusual. But cellars like this would also have held prisoners. They would have thrown somebody down here for the night. Get in there, boy. You know? Put the prisoner in the cellar for the night until we can deal with them later.
Yeah.
You know, I just imagine that kind of sort of thing.
A good accumulation of prisoners, yeah.
Definitely getting like tickly feeling up my back.
Yeah.
What's that due to down to? Is it just down to somebody being in here presence-wise, or?
I don't know. I just feel like
Somebody's touching the back of you to try and grab your attention. Yeah, like I say to you, you don't know. We're all assuming it's a storeroom as such, but like you say, you're talking after a battle, you've got X amount of prisoners.
They can't all go up the floor.
You just pile them in. You just pile as many as you can in here. So you've virtually stood up with all the. You can't lie down because of the people in here.
There's people lying sitting about on the floor, piled in, finding their spot.
And just leave them. Forget about them. Just because it's not documented, don't say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. These are the places you've got to explore at night time.
Need your head.
I had a cracker last time. Did any of you actually watch my previous video at did you not see Simon getting scared by a sheep?
No.
By a sheep?
Yeah, I was in the military, you know, where the guns emplacements were.
Oh yeah.
And I went into one, and I went into every single opening, and I went in, and there was 2 sheep, and they start, and I went, and I went running out. I was like, I knew there was sheep about, but I didn't
realise
think.
Then.
And I came running out, I was laughing, I was like, I've just seen the devil.
You big boss, Simon.
Yeah.
So look at that.
Yeah, the doorway, yeah. So obviously this is another level, this was there. Imagine that was it.
Uh-huh.
What do you think it was open?
Mind you, you've got like a fireplace, like brickwork there.
Is that not the back of the fireplace next door?
Maybe.
This looks like an outside route, you know, area.
It looks outside rather than.
Like this is just you walked between, but then again you see the corner there.
Yeah,
It might have, you know how like some places have got like wooden beams that
Yeah.
would go. That's how I would have pictured it. But then again, you would just think it was something that attach itself onto.
But yeah, you're wondering whether, because that's a window there, you're wondering if that was the exterior. You're not going to have an inside window.
See how the way that I don't know what to. See the way that that's structured like that. And that looks not a fireplace, but it looks like it's been something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
They wouldn't just put that structure in there for no reason.
Just put that there for no reason.
And even, you know, like you've got all these
They've
popping
got
up.
big bolts.
Have a look round the other side. Let's see what's round there. You can go round in there.
Yeah.
There's a big stone.
I mean, I think there's been one on the other side as well, though, because it's, but that's not really.
I suppose we're not seeing inside it here, are we? But there's a dark area down here that you walk past. That's new brick.
This was, I presume it's the tower.
That must have been another staircase.
Yeah, the staircase. As you can see inside there.
Yeah.
This must have been another tower.
Yes.
How did I not see this?
I walked past it and was like, ooh, I'll come back here. Yeah.
That's a nice bay.
So bits of the castle.
Yeah. Maybe Kenny's not here, you can do a little bit of psychometry.
Ooh.
What?
You know, I don't know. You don't get pins and needles. I
It
might
looks
touch
like
something of it.
it looks like that's like
work
from
stone,
drainage.
Yeah, it's work stone, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Part of the castle.
There's been a power unload to restore it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Victorians were big on that, weren't they, back in the day?
This is where Carl steals a bit of rock and takes it home. And then finds his house incredibly haunted.
You know, his East Drive,
Yeah.
the coal bunker. Now, apparently, Joe Pritchard, who was supposedly haunted by the Black Bunker Pontificat, whatever. I've never done that. I was going to take one, a lump of coal, but I never have because of pinching. Well, not pinching's the wrong word. Borrowing stone from bits and places that I go to, and Simon said I've probably got a haunted home, which I haven't, thankfully. But I don't believe in all that one word job. Anyway, East Drive in Pontefract, the haunted house.
It's going to start raining on you if you do it.
Yeah. There's a coal bunker there where Joe Pritchard, who was supposedly haunted by, I know you see it on the film, supposedly haunted by the monk that he had a sighting of, and it attacked him, what have you. It's still there, and there's still coal within that bunk, and people doing investigations there have actually helped themselves to the coal. Now I was going to do that, just a little small chunk, just to help myself. But as you got, I don't know if you've been to East Drive, as you walk around the corner, there's a cabinet, and it's all people's. Have sent it back, and the story that's been associated with it, bad luck that's been happening to him because they pinched this lump of coal, and all of a sudden they returned this coal in the post, and this was ceased. So,
And when are we going, Carl? And is it October?
yeah. And I often wondered, well, why has nobody helped themselves to the coal? Because it's quite a lot of it, and now I know why.
Now you know why.
Yeah. If you believe in that type of thing.
It's interesting that this drips. Why does it drip? Where's the water coming from? Is it condensation? Is it because of the type of room it is?
It's been wet outside.
You know?
There's puddles up and there's puddles up the stairs.
They're like cursed stones
So
from the castle. You know. Got to remember a lot of some of the stones. You know, there's stuff that's here to fix it as well. But you know, you want a real.
Just don't take something like that.
yeah,
And the roof comes
don't help
in.
yourself to the roof bits.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Like, oops.
have a look
But
at
it
it.
amazes me how you different types, different sizes of stone.
Yeah.
You know, every stone's different. That's how we built it back in the day. I know it's perfect as well.
So yeah. Wow.
We'll investigate the garden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Must be quite pretty.
Where does this go? Could be a bit icy. Yeah.
Many Queen of Scots had a habit where she planted flowers and planted grown into trees now. I mean, the prime example is that castle near you, where she planted the two blossoms, which are fully fledged trees now.
What you got a hard time about because I had a wee stop off point, and Carl wants to see the trees. So the plan is
even a mother Mary de Guise in Stirling Castle. She planted a castle in when Mary was born, and you want to see the size of it. No, it's a big, huge tree.
it's a big tree.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes over the doorway when you walk in.
Obviously, this must have been more ornate and more flowers and what have you. And
It's a very ornate looking tree for the way that it is, and the idea that that was planted is quite interesting. Could have taken their sandwiches down here. I thought I was. Yeah.
so if you're going to besiege the place, obviously your ideal one's just you stick your cannons up there, what have you, at the high ground, and just bombard it, which they did.
It's a great spot. It's a very much of a V location, looking down on one spot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hustle.
Scottish thistle, yeah. We've got two different balconies in the centre of the garden.
The thing that I missed out when I went to that Muddock Castle was when I went to the gardens. There's an entrance underneath the garden area that was there, like a day, you know, like a garden house. I didn't go and see it. I didn't put it on camera and I forgot.
You see, back in the day, that was where you were. That was a moat. So it was all surrounded by water back in the day, and it's been drained. There's a little slipway, and also there's an air raid shelter that you came across as well that was converted, because that was where you got the gun emplacement. That was a military base to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And there's air raid shelters there that actually built in the castle grounds. But it's a shame you couldn't get in the tower.
Yeah. I wonder what that said there actually. What's this say? Electricity.
Yeah.
It's got to be somewhere, folks. You know. Electricity is not wireless unless you're Tesla, which is his plan.
And that's another story.
Yeah. Ask Trump. He says that because apparently it was one of his family that.
I wonder what did happen to them plans that Tesla made.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll never know. Isn't it?
Quite peaceful sitting here reading a book or something.
Yeah.
Even in the winter time, I feel like snowing on the
Well, I should imagine back in Mary Queen of Scots days, all these trees were not as bushy as they were, so you've got quite a valley to see down. And just contemplating, try to think about your next walking around the gardens.
Worrying about a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
In a sense, you've just come back from France, haven't you? Try to regain a throne.
It's a super smashing day. Yeah, I'll get you away.
This brickwork, man, I still say this brickwork must have stood out for miles.
Can you imagine any faces at the window?
It must have been quite a sight to see, because that obviously is that very well standing, telling the story about the pipe. And that would be quite lovely to watch that from there.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What?
Somebody shouting.
Oh, he's pretending to be a soldier.
Alright, okay.
I could see him doing this. So this would have been, you know, a few rich people's place to sit and contemplate their next move.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm going to shoot up a floor and
There's talk as well that both Charleses came there as well, to muster an army.
yeah.
That's right, because the Campbells were very much close to that.
Oh, we'll find over here. I've got, or there was
An egg. I think.
an egg.
Yeah.
Don't know. Not sure. It's hatched. hasn't hatched. An egg.
And there's a feather there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we put the egg.
Mm-hmm.
There's a large window there, isn't it?
Yeah. You have your party. You entertain your guests, and you show them out the window and say, check out my view.
Visions of James II in Stirling Castle, through the Black Douglas out the window. Got stabbed him to death before he went.
Wow. Nice.
Now, do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
See these wee bits here?
Yeah.
Is that not the back end of the storage?
Oh, where we? So that's where we went in,
Yeah, that's the one we went in.
and the ones that we can't see in, which we'll use the camera and see if we can see them.
Yeah, they're the ones that are top, aren't they? We did 2 or 3. 2. Yeah.
I don't know what's standing there.
This is just yes, Simon extended our camera. Have a look.
You see inside of there, and tell us what's in there, and we can check out the footage later, and maybe up forward. Any ghosts? Take you out.
I bet it's just for
Where they store things.
yeah.
The goodies.
Yeah.
Where's the goodies? Fat balls. That's what they've got for the birds. Yeah. There's no cat balls.
Actually crawl through this hole. Actually get in there. Have a scoot.
Oh, I turned the light on.
Oh, did you?
Oh, it's a security light.
Yeah.
That's the one that we went in.
What we're looking for is people in the room that are not there.
Fantastic. The big stones, look at that big stones that they've all wedged into. The big stones there now, wedged in. That is fantastic, isn't it? And it's still standing.
Yeah. And over time, everything that grows in between it holds it together. I mean, did they have some form of mortar? I mean,
I think it was like a lime, wasn't it? But very fine. But they relied most on the strength, just wedging it together.
uh-huh.
And you've got a structure coming up there,
Yeah.
a straight edge there. Now whether
Unusual.
that's an existing structure
Mm-hmm.
there that stopped there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been added on. Because that, to me, that looks like an end wall. You know, like you got the end of there.
Yeah.
Because over the course of time, they just add on bits and pieces, don't you, to keep up with the Joneses to a certain extent. Make it more refined.
A lot of can't really read that.
The McDonald's have an extension.
B10 or something.
We've got some writing. Do you think it says? Or is there maybe
That's
a
a
date?
zero.
It's too weathered, isn't it? That looks as though that wall's on top of that.
Yeah.
I was only going to take some sort of
That's probably
greaseproof
is that
paper
is that bedrock?
and some,
Transfer it.
you know, yeah,
Get a crayon.
wax.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of tracing when I was a kid. I was always pinching the greaseproof paper to trace
The
things.
trace things.
You got any? What was it for your tracing? I learned how to draw.
It's a fantastic piece of engineering. So rather than get rid of that, they've just built the wall on top of
it.
And you still get that straight edge as well. And that back and that.
It's covered, isn't it?
Yeah. Hinges as well.
So I hear a river, a fast flowing river.
Well, that's the sort of walk, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm actually getting a bit hungry now.
Me too. 3 o'clock, that's why.
By heck.
My heck,
Right.
it's 3 o'clock. By gum. So did you find this place okay without sat nav? Yep.
I've been once or twice.
Yeah.
So I do know.
The memory.
Yes. That's been a long time, but I do remember it, yeah.
Oh.
I remember it, like I say, for the daughter falling in the river.
It's all right.
Sticks in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think we've seen everything, haven't we?
Yeah. We'll call this a wrap.
Yes.
I'll get a few ending shots for you. Take a few photos before I leave.
We can actually see the fairy tree that's outside.
Yeah?
That's said if the fairy tree falls, the castle will fall.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe in legends and myths. And
Oh yes, we do.
We do.
On this channel.
oh, you are a big fairy.
Oh, big fairy at heart to go.
Yeah. With your heart.
They're the fairies, the midges. Big midges, eh?
And there's one toilet within the castle. You just walk to the arch to the top, turn left, you'll see a seated area.
Well guys, we're now going to leave Campbell Castle. Really enjoyed it. It's good walk around. Interesting to see a place with family name in it. And we're going to go and speak to Carl about this supposed fairy tree. Beautiful tree.
Whether it dates the same time as the castle,
Mhm.
nobody knows. It's just said that if that capitulates, the castle will fall down, the tower.
So if this comes down, the tower would fall.
Yes. That's the fairy curse.
Fairy curse.
I should imagine the roots would be probably touching the tower by now. You see where all the grounds are.
Touch the tree. Very old tree. Protects the castle.
Do you want to walk down the side of the castle or do you want to make your way home?
Yeah.
Right then.
You want to?
We quick sit
Yeah.
down here and then we'll
See where this goes.
hopefully stay here though.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a bonus.
We're now going to storm the castle. Dun, 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 dun. Damn those Campbells. We'll get in.
Yeah.
This is what you would have seen, you know, if you got this far. It'd be like, your father was that a moose?
Oh, is that the
I've forgotten the line now. Danger.
Oh, is this a dead end now?
Yeah, as far as you get to go. You don't fall backwards. Which it was very close to there. Watch plenty of those. People have caught their deaths on film. Because they were being twatty and trying to take a video.
Oh, it's weathered over the course of time, sandstone.
Yeah. I think this tree has energy.
Like that.
Yes. And it's not, you know, you could say, there's plenty of people who say, yes, Simon, it's because you were told it was a fairy tree. And, you know, you subconsciously thought, but I walk up to the tree, I get a funny feeling. I feel a bit, you know, dizzy again.
A little bit static or...
Static, yeah. Trees, they're living things. They give off energy, you know. Get close to a tree, lots of fresh air, you know. Even some bats.
And it's nice to see it's pup friendly here as well. So
Yeah.
wee lovely wee dogs coming up.
But yeah, we'll call it a day on Campbell Castle, and thank you very much for joining us today, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.